Breaking right now at noon, at least one person is dead and more than 50 people are missing after part of this condo building collapsed early this morning in South Florida, just north of Miami Beach. A massive search and rescue effort continues at this hour. The mayor of Surfside, where this happened, spoke about his community just a few hours ago.
It's hard to imagine how this could happen. I've lived in Miami Beach. I was born here, and buildings just don't fall down. Never. I mean, it's the most shocking thing that I think we've seen ever. It looks like an earthquake.
Search and rescue operations could take up to a week. According to the mayor, 10 people were treated for injuries at the scene. 2 were pulled from the rubble, including a boy believed to be about 10 years old. The building where this happened is 12 stories. At least 50 of the 130 apartments collapsed shortly before 2 o'clock this morning. We do have team coverage of what happened. Tark Miner has been looking at photos coming into our newsroom that really give us a much better perspective of this building before and after the collapse. But we begin with Vic Michelucci, who is on his way to Miami. He's joining us now live from our mobile newsroom. Vic?
Yeah, and very scary details about what happened at 2 o'clock in the morning. People, for the most part, were sleeping. They did not know that this was going to happen, and that building just collapsed. In fact, I saw some of the video from a nearby surveillance camera and shows just a massive collapse and then a cloud of dust. Now, we are heading down right now to give you live updates this evening on the search and rescue efforts. Police and firefighters have swarmed the area. They have been working to try to find everybody, make sure that every person as well as their pets are accounted for. But I do want to let you know, we were talking with Richard Nunn earlier on the show about bad weather. I have just learned that weather has paused the search and rescue efforts. That's not good news. Strong storms, thunderstorms coming through the area. There is lightning in the area right now, and that has stopped some of these search and rescue efforts. We know that they have specialized equipment coming in to remove some of this rubble. We know that they have technology to look for people, and they have dogs to look for any signs of life as well. And there are just hundreds of first responders on the scene trying to do everything they can. Meanwhile, we do have video of a 10-year-old boy. This is a dramatic rescue that happened pre-dawn. Fire rescue crews pulled him out on a stretcher. Amazingly, he was awake. He was alert. That is the good news. But the sad...
I've spoken with both the local mayors, Surfside and Bal Harbor. We have emergency response personnel dispatched there. The first responders were able to save a lot of people. They are going to be going through more. And, it's a really, really tragic situation. So we'll hope for the best in terms of additional recoveries, but we are bracing for some bad news, just given the destruction that we're seeing.
All right, we're looking at the latest right now. 12 stories, 136 units total. This condo complex appears to have been built in 1981, but we have learned from residents that there was some sort of roof work going on. In fact, one man who lived there said he complained to management about issues with them drilling, with them hammering, with them pounding. He said he was worried about the structural integrity. We don't know any reason right now. It's still too early to say why this condo complex collapsed, but certainly that's going to be part of the investigation there. Now, coming up, the governor is making his way to Surfside. He should be there. He's expected to hold a news conference in probably about 30 minutes at 12:30. We also know that there has been a hotline set up for loved ones. They can call in, they can leave their names, their numbers, and hopefully get reunited with their family members. For people in the area, there is another complex that opened up its doors, and that's where the displaced residents are, as well as loved ones who are looking for their family members. The American Red Cross, as well as local authorities, are helping there. So we will continue to monitor this. I'll have live reports from the Miami Beach area and Surfside at 4, 5, and 6. Jen?
Thank you, Vic. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue says that the condo, which is called Champlain Towers South, just pancaked. That's how they described it. And that there are no pockets that crews really have been able to find for people who may possibly be trapped inside. Tarek Miner is taking a closer look now at what's left of the condo. And Tarek, we know that this building is on Collins Avenue. It's a very well-known street in the Miami area.
It is a very populated area, and the images that we're going to show you right here really are just unbelievable when you look at the scope of what happened. The crews are searching for survivors, and they need to be extra careful right now because the fear is that the other 2/3 of the building could collapse. The Surfside mayor says roof work was being done at the condo building and says there's not reason for the building to go down like this unless there was a sinkhole or someone possibly pulled the supports out of the building. So as we take a look at these photos tweeted out by the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, you can really see that the entire section of this 12-story building is now rubble. Some of that debris falling into a pool area that's down here next to the parked cars, and there's also a road down in this area. And here's a closer look. You can see right into each of these apartments here. And as you take a look at these images, you see search and rescue crews here. And you can also see some beds and bunks kind of mixed in with that debris. It's really hard to see as you see the rescue dog looking there for any survivors. There are mattresses, TVs, air conditioning units, all mixed in with the rubble of the concrete and metal support beams. Listen in as a witness shares how he was able to help first responders rescue a boy and his mom.
I was able to get, literally right there, pretty much on the property. And close enough to hear the little boy screaming. So, we began to climb the rubble, myself and one other individual, because we heard them. There weren't any firefighters or police officers nearby. And we felt like we needed to do something. So we took it upon ourselves to try and get there and locate them. Once we were able to locate them, I took my phone and began to flash my light to try and signal somebody to come over. And we got a police officer to come over. He was able to get a light in on the situation and signal fire to come over as well. So then they began their efforts to get him out. It was him and his mother. We could hear him. We could see him clearly. His mom, we weren't able to see. We weren't able to hear her. So I don't know what her status is. But, God willing she's okay.
And here is a side-by-side photo of the before and after of the building. It shows the L-shaped building as you see there before the collapse. All the units that did not fall have been cleared by the crews as the search for survivors continues. Jen?
Thank you, Tarek. This morning on the morning show, I spoke with Jacksonville Fire Rescue Captain Mark Roberts. He's with the Urban Search and Rescue team here locally. He explained what goes into a massive, large-scale search effort like the one taking place right now in South Florida. As we've learned, rescue dogs are helping in the search efforts there, but have yet to alert crews to any bodies.
Yes, ma'am. So the canines, the dog has their nose is a lot better than mine or yours is. So they're able to pick up on live scent. So they're searching the pile, they're climbing on the pile. If they find a scent of a live human that they don't recognize as far as being somebody else on the pile that's walking around searching, they will continue to go around until they get a better scent or a better location, and then they will stop and alert on that area, and then the searchers can go over there and try to make access to the victim.
Now, Captain Roberts was specifically responding to my question that was asking about the dogs that are used that have now been brought in to help in this search. A hotline has been set up for those who are trying to reach their loved ones or to report that they have been located. That's the number on your screen. It's 305-993-1071. It's interesting because that was set up in part because they were trying to get a better idea of how many people might be missing and hoping to hear from loved ones who have relatives that are there and perhaps they have not been able to reach them so they could get a better idea of figuring out who is unaccounted for. And as we know, it's about 51 people. Now, just into our newsroom, surveillance video of the collapse. Now, we want to warn you, it is disturbing. This is a news anchor who's actually talking over the video. Let's listen in.
Florida collapsed early this morning. A warning here about how hard it is to see.
Yeah, it comes down in two parts. There's the second part coming down. Listen, your heart goes out to whoever might have been inside that building as it happened. We do know that two people, thankfully, have been rescued so far, but sadly we also know that they're still searching for perhaps dozens of others who, at least to this point, have not confirmed that they are safe.
I mean, as you saw, it came down in two parts. We know that about 50 units, basically collapsed. And no word yet on what caused this. We know that some construction was going on in the building, but on the roof. And as we heard from the mayor of Surfside, that would not explain, and to his knowledge, not cause what happened early this morning. Now, our coverage of this breaking story, of course, continues right now on news4jax.com and will throughout the day.